Welcome back. How are you? Before I start today, I need to answer a question that I've been asked. Where did my love of reading start? And it started from my mom. I have to give her that credit. It started from my mom. When we were young, we had to read comics. In those days, there were comics, so we had to read comics. And I will get one comic, and my sister will get another one, and my mom will get Reader's Digest. And I have an uncle who will get National Geographic. So there was always something coming to the house, and in those days, they were delivered to the house weekly. So there was always something to read. Not because we didn't have a television, which wouldn't have been a crime, but we just had something to read, and that's where it comes from. So if you want your children to read or to develop that joy of reading like you have, I assume you have a love of reading, that's why you're watching this, you need to start them early. Read to them, give them books to read, have reading times in the house, switch off the TV, that kind of thing. And I actually have another channel that is just reading to children. I'll put it up, and I also put it in the description. So that's where it started. Okay, let's go. Hi, how are you? Welcome back with Coffee with Temmi. You get a cup of coffee. Today we're talking about books. I need to take a sip of my coffee. Okay, so today we're talking about books. Before I go to the book that I read last week, I want to talk about the book that I read, I think it was last year. I don't think it was this year, so it must have been last year. It's called A Gentleman in Moscow. This is it's a beautiful book. That's the only way I can describe it. It's a really beautiful book. It's about one of the aristocrats, yes, in Russia, and this must have happened just as the revolution started, and the Communist Party came in, and obviously they were getting rid of everybody that was aristocrat and rich and all of that. Now this gentleman went out in the morning, and within a few hours he had moved from the level of life that he was living, the kind of life that he was living, to a very different kind. Imagine this, he lived in a 5-star hotel, and he lived in a suite. He had every comfort that he could probably ask for. And he went out and came back and found that he was now living in a loft of the same hotel, in a room that probably wasn't even as big as the bathroom that he was using before. So this book is about how he endured, how he lived in that same hotel, the relationships that he made, that he nurtured, both inside and outside the hotel, even though he was under house arrest, we will say, and he was supposed to be happy that he wasn't sent to jail. And this is a lesson is how to be good to people on your way up, so that they'll be nice to you on your way down. But it is a beautiful read. It is a beautiful read. I came to admire this guy. I was rooting for him. And the characters it's always about the characters, not just the plot in a book. It's also about the characters and how the author brings them to life, isn't it? Yes, it is. So now I would recommend that you go and read it if you haven't. Like I said before, I read most of my books now from the e-library. So I don't know if it's in Carthage or e-library. I'll check. But if it's not, well, I'm sure you can find it to read. It's a really beautiful book. So last week I didn't finish my AN ranking because quite a number of books that I put on hold between last week and this week just came through. On the library, I put all these books on hold and then they all came through at the same time, ready for borrowing. I could have said no, but I didn't. I just couldn't say no to these authors. So today I'm going to speak about Anne Cleeves, which I said I was going to read. I did finish it. So I read Anne Cleeves' Long Call and Jonathan Kellerman's A Museum of Desire. A Museum of Desire. These two are beautiful writers. These two are absolutely beautiful writers. And the thing with both of them are detectives. Like I said, I love my detectives. Now, both of them actually have 4 things in common. So Anne Cleeves introduced this new detective, different from our characters before. And with Jonathan Kellerman is our old faithful detective Milo Sturgis. The two of them actually have four things in common. The first name starts with M. The first name starts with M. Their sexual orientation, the relationship that they're in, and they're both amazing detectives, even if I say so. And I'm just the reader, I know the author, but even if I say so. And the two books are also quite different from each other. Yes, both of them are detectives, but while Mother cannot be said to be nice, I would say the killing in Anne Cleeves' Long Call is nice. Can I say it's nice compared to Jonathan Kellerman? Now, in a Museum of Desire, it's gore from the beginning. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's messy. It's bloody. It's, how can somebody do that? I'll never get used to, even though I read them all the time, but I'll never get used to how horrific the crimes that people commit against other people, even though if this is reading, but I don't know. Anyway, so in Anne Cleeves' Long Call, there is the story revolves around, and I would say the dangers and how easy it is that people with disability can easily be taken advantage of. Again, I don't want to tell what the book is about. Can easily be taken advantage of, and it revolves around what people will do also. Okay, we know this, but how far people will go to cover up their crimes. Like I said, it's a nice, if I can put it like that, it's a nice murder. Now, when we get to Jonathan Kellerman's Museum of Desire, oh my word, even my darling Alex, the Dr. Alex, and Detective Milo were stumped because there didn't seem to be any sense. It looked like it was senseless murder. And unfortunately, it didn't stop at the bodies that started it, and it started with bodies. It started with bodies. It doesn't disappoint. Jonathan Kellerman really, I don't think he's ever disappointed me. It doesn't disappoint. So if you're one of those who love his books or this kind of, this is not even forensic, it's not forensic detective. This is a psychologist. Okay, so you need to get into the psyche of the killer or killers, and the motives and all of that. But I enjoy them very much, and I recommend them. So I will try to finish my Anne Cleeves this week. I definitely have to finish my Ian Rankin this week, because guess what? I've got 3-4 books that just came through. My John Stanford, I think you heard me. Mr. John Stanford, thank you. He's written another one of the Pray series. His books are all about pray this and pray that. And this is the Maxed Pray, which I'm going to read. I'm going to finish the Ian Rankin in the House of Lies. And also there's two other people came in. There's Alan Corbin, and another Anne Cleeves. Remember what I said, when I find somebody that I like, I have to read all their books. So I'm going through Anne Cleeves now, and I'm glad that she's written so many books. So it's cold winter. I've got something to do in the cold nights. Until next week, I'll see you. Thanks for listening. It's been Coffee with Temmi. Bye.